Item 10D, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with the EDCO Group, Inc. for implementation of the SCADA radio transmitter project in an amount not to exceed $184,791.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. Jimmy Tan, City Engineer. SCADA, the acronym is the acronym for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. It is an integral water and wastewater system management component as it provides the staff with real-time information and to assess the facility's function 365 days a year. It also provides the ability to perform real-time monitoring and obtain early warnings and control the facilities without having to be on site. The SCADA was implemented back in 2007, and city operations staff has been using it to remotely control manage tank levels, water system pressures, water levels in sewer pump stations, and operations of the pumps at pumping facilities. Here's a snapshot of what the SCADA interface looks like. As if the operations staff was to use it, you can see the tank levels that are there for, let's say, for College 9 and 10, about 23.7 feet for those tanks. If the pumps are on, it indicates as being a green, and so the operations staff is able to come into the interface and to make sure that the tank levels are, maintained at accurate levels. If there's tank that levels goes down, then the SCADA will provide an alarm to the operations staff as well. So the city currently has two sources of data communication transmission for the SCADA system. One is primary and the other one is secondary to assure uninterrupted data transmission service. The secondary measure is similar to the backup standby generator where we had to use it today, similar when the power main electrical service kind of failed. The San Bruno cable broadband network is the primary means of data transmission, and it will remain as is. Currently, the backup is the AT&T dial-up modem telephone system. This project will be replacing the current dial-up modem system with the radio transmission network because it has experienced repeated downtimes and has been non-operational at several facilities. Once the project is implemented, the radio transmission will serve as a backup to the cable broadband network. The city issued an RFP for the integration of the SCADA project and received two proposals. Staff received a limited number of proposals due to the specialized type of work for this project, and we evaluate the consultant's qualifications and the scope of work to determine whether it meets the city requirements. Based on the evaluation, staff is recommending EDCO Group to provide the implementation of the SCADA project, the SCADA radio transmitter project. EDCO is a qualified firm as it specializes in SCADA and has extensive experience with to the previous work with the city's water and wastewater facilities. It also provided other city agencies throughout the peninsula with the integration of the SCADA work, such as Redwood City, San Carlos. The total number of 17 water and 5 sewer facilities will be integrated with the new radio communication system. The scope of work includes providing new PLC that are antiquated, new touch panels for operations staff and the SCADA radios and antennas, and performing the radio surveys, applying for the FCC license, and developing testing plans and providing electrical design as well. Upon completion of this project, the city will have a reliable network backup that is capable of transmitting communication without failure. Staff is anticipating this project to be completed by July 2015. And as part of this work, we'll be coming back to council for the electrical contractors services, where we would have to put out a contract documents for installation of the conduits and antennas and antenna masts and cables. So the staff is anticipating to award that in May council meeting. So there are sufficient funds for this project approved under the 2014-15 CIP. You know, the project funding was provided entirely for the water enterprise fund, but to accurately account for the SCADA integration of both the water and wastewater facilities, staff has recommended to appropriate $65,000 in the wastewater capital funds and reduce the water capital portion by the same amount as well. And that is already reflected in the 2014-15 CIP. So therefore, staff is recommending to adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with the EDCO Group for implementation of the SCADA radio transmitter project in an amount not to exceed $184,791.
Thank you. Any questions of staff? Michael?
Thank you. I didn't quite get the numbers. So the request is for 184,000. The insert here from the CIP is for 375K over both enterprise funds. What was the change?
So the change that's being proposed is $65,000 from each of the water and the sewer enterprises, so it's a source of funds. But the total cost of the project includes additional components of work. This contract is for the design and implementation of the SCADA. There is an additional contract, at least one additional contract, for electrical connection work that will be presented to the City Council subsequently. So that's why the total dollar amount budgeted for the project exceeds the amount of this particular contract.
Okay. But then is the total project then still approximately 375,000? Is that what we're going to be budgeting for?
Yes.
When it's all said and done. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Anything else? Yes?
Hi, Jim Evangelist, 105 DeSoto Way. I think that the SCADA program's really beneficial to the city in running both water and wastewater. We've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this system since 2007. But I think what the council has probably not appreciated fully is these special tools are also designed to be labor saving. And by that I mean you can actually eliminate labor that used to be dedicated to maintaining and overseeing these facilities and hand it off to different crew members or even management level, because now it's done on a laptop. And yet we still maintain a certain number of pump mechanics. In fact, are training a new replacement right now. So I think that I would like to see the council members see if they can understand why that's still taking place. In the city of Foster City, they have 76 pump stations. They have no pump mechanics because the crews, through the SCADA system, they don't physically visit the facilities that much anymore. They do it on the laptop. And it's one thing to spend a lot of money on real good technology, but it's another thing not to identify that this is also meant to be cost-saving measures for the ratepayers. Thank you.
Thank you. Rico?
That's a question. Do we have any response?
We don't have a response right now. I think there are numbers of responsibilities that are assigned to the pump mechanics position, and so we can certainly evaluate the suggestion that Mr. Evangelist has made and provide additional information to the City Council.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because obviously we're always looking for efficiencies and effectiveness. And and it was brought up in the study session, if you're not going to do this, then what is going to be done in its place, either by persons or by costs? So is there any, shall we say, efficiencies that are gained through this good system that we might see?
Yeah, so I just want to make sure that we're clear that this, the action that's before you tonight is for a change to the redundant backup for the communication system. SCADA has been in operation in the city for a number of years. There is no change to the utilization or the deployment of staff that's being proposed as part of this contract action. So I would encourage your consideration of the contract, and if your interest is, as suggested by Mr. Evangelos, that we reevaluate the deployment of staff and the manner in which SCADA information is managed and utilized, we're certainly happy to do that. That would be a different evaluation.
And that's perfect, as long as I think we're always looking for what we can do better and improve with the technology that it provides us.
Great.
Through the chair,
Michael.
one follow-up question. So still looking at the CIP sheet that's in here, I noticed there was nothing really appropriated for it in any of the years. This is a backup system that we're talking about, so we have a decrepit, sometimes failing backup system, but we're still relying on a primary system, which is our cable, which we do invest a lot in that plant. So I'm wondering why at this point is this becoming to, why is it critical now that we address this backup system for communication?
The operations staff has mentioned that the backup system has been failing at several locations, and so to provide a redundancy and to provide better communications in the SCADA system, the radio transmission network is the industry standard for the SCADA network, and that's the reason why we're bringing this project forward to you today.
So to put the question a different way, how many instances have we had where we have completely lost communication to any one of the facilities?
To my knowledge, there's about 5 different types of times of incidents throughout the years.
And we've had both the primary system and the backup system fail?
No, it's just the backup system that has failed.
Just the backup system?
Correct.
Okay. Because to me, it seems like it's a nice to have, but maybe at this point, when we are dealing with so many other things, it might be a little bit of a luxury item. Okay. Thank you.
Questions or action by the council?
Just real quick, is this something that we would also do in equipment reserve, as we do with others, these type of items, when we start having these large investments in technical aspects? Because obviously they're going to need to be replaced at some point and comes back, or is it just mainly just our vehicles?
So normally the enterprise funds fund their capital projects or capital purchases directly because they have the money to do that. The replacement fund is for general fund or special revenue fund type of purchases. So that's why when I say that it'll level out departments, it's usually the general fund, and that's where you don't want the spikes.
Anything else? Action by the council?
I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibarra.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Salazar.
No.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.